As I try to stay out of trouble with the Google gods, let's focus on some of the stories not receiving the normal attention. And for good reason, considering the madness that took place in Nashville. By the by, there is an extra spicy video over on Rumble, if you're interested. Nothing to do with Nashville, yet, but a pretty good listen nonetheless. Anyways, let's get started. Oh, the twists and turns of Illinois' golden boy. That blonde-haired, blue-eyed, good-looking military hero turned whiny leftist, essentially. Young Adam made the dreaded mistake of chasing the attention, becoming the lamestream's go-to boy in the made-for-low-IQ TV watchers facade of partisan comfort. Well, since being betrayed and booted out of Congress by the opposition party that he got into bed with, Adam Kinzinger has spent most of his time trashing anyone who doesn't want to send the totality of the US GDP to Ukraine. To say he tolerates zero critical thinking and nuance regarding the war is an understatement. It's also an easily identifying sign of complete stupidity. It's so bad that if one even breathes in the direction of something other than total subservience to Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, Kinzinger launches into a ridiculous tirade. But did his unwavering zeal to support Ukraine get the better of him? A Ukraine-centered nonprofit is currently under federal investigation, and guess what? In true Democrat fashion, Kinzinger just so happens to sit on the board of that company. Now, I'm not making any direct accusations here, but this is not a good look for the former congressman. Oh, bullshit. Of course I am. I am making indeed a direct accusation that something is going on here. A few days back, Jordan Chattel tweeted out Kinzinger was on the board of the Ukrainian organization that scammed people out of millions of dollars. This comment, of course, was shared with an original post by Ripley's Heroes stating, "Today, we'd like to announce that veteran congressman and true friend of Ukraine, Representative Adam Kinzinger, will be joining the Ripley's Heroes Board of Advisors. Welcome aboard, Lieutenant Colonel." This story all started with a man named James Vasquez, who allegedly lied about his background. Vasquez was heavily promoted by Kinzinger online. The two also met in person. Further, Vasquez worked for, or did until recently, an organization called Ripley's Heroes, which purports to buy and send military equipment to Ukraine, such as night vision goggles and communication devices. Here's a little background from the post-millennial about how Vasquez's story just sort of fell apart. Quote, former Illinois Representative Adam Kinzinger advocated for Vasquez, urging Twitter to verify his account and posed in pictures with him. Only the story of Vasquez joining the Ukrainian army turned out to be fake. Quote, Kinzinger's favorite Ukrainian hero just deleted his account after it came out he was a fraud, said Jack Posobiec. Good old Jack, he's all over this stuff. Malcolm Nance, also a supporter of Vasquez, responded to the allegations against Vasquez, as revealed by a current member of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, saying that he and others had advised Vasquez to, quote, get off Twitter, get his life in order, and come back to support Ukraine in a legal construct. He took that advice. Okay, so now Ripley's Heroes is under federal investigation for allegedly misappropriating funds and making illegal shipments to Ukraine. Kinzinger is, again, on the board of advisors for this organization. Okay, back to the article. Quote, last spring, a volunteer group called Ripley's Heroes said it had spent approximately $63,000 on night vision and thermal optics. Some of the equipment was subject to American export restrictions because, in the wrong hands, it could give enemies a battlefield advantage. Frontline volunteers said Ripley's delivered the equipment to Ukraine without required documentation listing the actual buyers and recipients. Recently, the federal authorities began investigating the shipments, U.S. officials said. In his defense, the group's founder, a retired U.S. Marine named Lieutenant Colonel Hunter Ripley Rawlings V, provided deal documents to the Times. But those records show that, just as the volunteers said, Ripley's was not disclosed to the State Department as the buyer. Believe it or not, I'm not even suggesting that Kinzinger, who is effectively a moron, was in on whatever scheme was being run here. I totally believe he's an idiot, though, and would jump into positions like this with a dirty front company stealing millions of taxpayer dollars in some form or another. And with that being said, I think we should hold our politicians, even our ex-politicians, accountable either way. A board of advisors, after all, is typically there to advise the board. But it's possible he knew nothing about the actual decisions being made behind the scenes. Very possible. So while it'd be easy to dunk on Kinzinger as a probable crook, I suspect that that's not what's really happening here. No, rather, I think Kinzinger is just a 2-bit fame-seeking hack who jumped on the first opportunity to appear more in tune with the war in Ukraine because he's such a cool guy, right? That means taking his board seat without doing any due diligence or ensuring the organization he was serving was on the up and up. His childish disposition also led him to cozy up with Vasquez. In closing, Kinzinger, who flew a KC-135 tanker in the Air Force, has been desperate to attach himself to whatever valor exists regarding the Ukraine fight against Russia. Well, except for actually going to the fight, of course. He'd rather just advocate for sending unlimited amounts of taxpayer money. But the point is that he likely got suckered in here, as he has been in the past. Remember, this is the guy who spread the Ghost of Kiev nonsense and shared a picture of Sam Hyde suggesting he was the non-existent pilot. Oh, good times, weren't they? We'll see where this story leads, but Kinzinger probably should take a step back after this one. Maybe go lobby for one of those big arms manufacturers. Whatever. I don't care. Just get the hell off of my TV, please. A little odd behind the scenes for you guys. I've got this rescue German Shepherd I got about 3 years ago from my mother, who runs a rescue. Anyways, she sits under the desk as I record. And she's so used to being here and listening to my voice that the minute I start with that final sentence as I finish the video, she gets up and gets ready to leave the office. It's hilarious. Anyways, she's about to get excited. Most of this came by way of redstate.com. If you liked it, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment down below. There's a PayPal link in the description box, so please put $1 in the bucket on the way out the door. I'd like to thank everyone for all your donations. They're much needed and much appreciated. Now, with all that being said, we'll see you next time.
Come on, move. Move. Easy, easy.